Does anyone remember the last time Warner Brothers tried to do a prequel? Hey everybody, I'm Geno Reynolds from The Real Geno. Today we're going to be talking about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. But before I begin, I do have to put out a bit of a disclaimer. I'm not exactly what you would call a big Harry Potter fan. Now, wait, calm down, stop the chants of Avada Kedavra. I just am not a huge fan of the series. I think the movies are fine and they're kind of fun, but I'm just not a big fan of them, or I'm not a Potterhead or whatever you guys call yourselves. In the year 1926, author and lover of magical creatures Newt Scamander arrives in New York for a stopover that should have gone without incident until his magical case gets mixed up with a no-mages or muggles case. This leads to them stumbling onto a plot involving a conspiracy to blame magical creatures for the work of something darker. If I'm going to be honest, I have to say that this one really didn't change my mind about how I feel about this universe. I still thought this movie was decent, but really nothing special. Now listen, that's my opinion, so please put your wands away. You as Potterheads are diehard fans of the series, and that being said, you're gonna like this one. I do have to say that I was getting pretty frustrated with all the plots that were introduced near the beginning of the story because there are so many new characters and things that had to be set up. While I felt it took a little too long for the story to get going, and I also felt the movie was a little long, once all of the different plots finally came together, it worked pretty well. There is definitely a lot of setup for future movies considering they have already announced that there's gonna be 5 movies in total. When it comes to the characters, most of them are pretty likable. I've never really been the biggest fan of Eddie Redmayne's aw shucks approach to a lot of his roles, and he does that same awkward style here playing Newt. For me it was okay, but I really wasn't a fan of his performance. At least his character admitted that he's annoying. Katherine Waterston as Tina plays her part in a similar awkward style that works fairly well with Redmayne's performance, which helps me to be a little more forgiving towards him, and I'm sure all of it will lead to an awkward relationship between two awkward characters. Ah, awkward love. Colin Farrell really hammed it up for his part as Graves. You know where his character arc is going the moment you meet him. I mean, he should have just been issued a curly mustache when he went to wardrobe. I will say that even though his character is predictable, it does lead to a cameo from a certain actor that is kind of box office poison right now, so that was kind of an interesting choice. My favorite characters in the movie are by far Dan Folger's no-match future bakery owner Kowalski and Alison Sudol's Queenie, who is the sister of Tina and a form of mind reader. The short of it is that they're just really funny and cute together, plus me, as a red-blooded heterosexual male, couldn't help but have a bit of a crush on Queenie. I'm moving on. The last thing I want to bring up is the CG. My God, there is way too much CG in this. Now, I understand that the creatures, especially the bigger ones, had to be CG, but there are a lot of characters that would have benefited greatly from creature effects, such as Ron Perlman's goblin gangster Narlac. I think the less this movie could have used CG, the better, because it would have made what was used look less fake. Like I said earlier, though I am not really a fan of this franchise, I get why the fans do like it. If you are a fan of the franchise, if you're a Potterhead, you're going to find this one to be fantastic. But remember, it's only just one Muggle's opinion. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you've seen here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel. Feel free to comment below and give this video a like. Until next time, I'm Geno Reynolds from The Real Geno.